You say Alex, I say Jake, and you say blah 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 in Finnish.
But I say Jake and you say Alex.
Yeah, you can.
Blah 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 in Finnish is actually blah blah blah.
Yeah, but the thing that we're gonna say.
I know.
Yeah.
I thought it would be blai, blai, blai. It's not this time?
No.
In Finnish.
No, blah. No, the I. No.
Yeah.
It's just blah blah.
Ein große Kartoffel gefunden, ja.
So we're rolling, right?
Yep.
So I'm Alex.
I'm Jake.
Mä oon Euge. Me ollaan CyHra ja kiitos suomalaiset fanimme ja kaikki muutkin tuesta ja kaikesta. Uusi levy ensi vuonna. Se on vitu kova. Otetaan sieltä, tulkaa keikoille. Kiitos.
Totteri.
Ja kiitos Imperiumi ja Henkka.
Sitting here with CyHra today.
Almost all of us.
Almost all of you, yes. But I hope the other guitar player is also coming for the gig later on today.
Yeah, he will.
Yes.
I think he will. I've seen him just sitting around the corner. So.
All right.
I think he will be there.
Okay. I interviewed Alex a year ago before your first gig here, and or CyHra's first gig ever in Finland, and one thing that you said to me was that you talked about the chemistry in the band and everything like this. You said that you're still in the honeymoon phase.
Yes, so how about, I was back then, yes.
Yeah, how is it now? Is the first anniversary already?
We still got the rings.
How has the year been?
Honestly, if anything, then actually we're even closer than back then, because the tour was an extremely good experience that we had in the States, our first big proper tour, and the recordings on top recently. So to me, every time, all the time we spent together actually brought us closer.
Yeah, and you mean the four of us?
The four of us, yes.
Yeah.
Of course, unfortunately, that Peter, left the band, but that actually had nothing to do with inner chemistry. Like,
No.
we're still
good friends. We'll be in contact every now and then, like how you do it. It was just a matter of, I guess, practical.
Scheduling and all these
Peter
things,
has a lot of his own restaurant, his own brewery, which has grown like
rapidly
in Sweden. Family, so it was a.
So if everyone could just stop drinking beer, maybe he could come back.
Yes, especially
greatest idea.
Stop
ever.
drinking their beer. No, we didn't.
No. That was bad. No.
So
Actually,
there hasn't been in the first year. There hasn't been any divorces or fights or something like this. Still going happily.
Yeah. It's amazing how this band turned out to be like the chemistry as you were talking about, because we want the same thing. We're striving for the same goal, and we're best friends. So it's really nice.
Yeah, I mean, because we've known each other prior to this band, so we knew each other that we were really good friends, and now I guess we've become the best friends. So it's been.
So it's like marrying your best friend.
That's romantic.
Isn't that what you usually do?
I think a lot of people actually don't do that, to be honest. But that's a whole different topic.
Yeah.
So you
in the next episode of Alex's relationship advice.
Yes, exactly.
It's not going to be
The
Judge
next episode,
Judy.
homoilla homona.
Okay. No.
So you went on a tour in the US. You had a pretty long gig, long nights in the bus and everything, and you guys have grown even tighter together.
Yeah, the funniest thing with this band is, as we were just discussing before the interview started, is that we're getting older. We're not old, but we're getting more older in a respectful way. So what we're doing in the tour bus is sleeping. So we're more or less fighting about like who's going to sleep first.
More or less.
So no wild parties in the bus, and no incidents of destroyed tour buses in that sense.
Yeah, and some other outside random people, and so it's really like it's everything all of us are really like, you know, laid back. We've seen it, we've done it. The things that you usually do when you're younger, and it's related to this rock and roll thing and touring, so we don't have to do those
Anymore.
anymore.
Yeah.
And we don't want to, because it's a lot nicer this way. And you know, we're getting younger, so if we wanna give fans and to, you know, maximum performance and you know, us too, it's we want to focus the main reason why we're doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the music and giving fans the best.
Yeah, value for their money.
Yeah.
They paid money to come see us.
But I think I saw you guys in John Smith Festival last summer, and I would say that you see that from the crowd as well, that you are having fun.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
A lot of fun, and there's a lot of inside jokes going, and you know, whispering in our ear, and sometimes it's hard to play when, you know, it's just like you're just kind of laughing.
And that was also you posted pretty frequently these live feeds about the recording and
the studio. Yes.
It looked like you had fun there as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
We always actually we started to have almost more fun doing these live feeds than doing the actual recording
we were
job.
kind of like waiting to.
Yeah.
When did this start?
Yeah.
How long do I have to play the guitar?
It almost started to be the main thing of the day, you know, like on everybody's mind, you know.
Maybe we should tell the people that are watching this. What we did was that every day we had a live broadcast from the studio, and we did this in a way that we wanted it to look like a newscast, so like a morning sofa or something like that, and we transformed it a little bit more and more every single day. So all of a sudden we had like this cut to Alex doing the weather and Jesper doing the sports, and it was crazy. It was a lot of fun.
It became a whole thing.
We filmed inserts.
Yes.
And
So if there's any Finnish TV station that needs an anchor, you know, we're here. You know, just call us.
Yeah, especially in Finnish. Especially us.
But how big part of the process is this to have fun? I mean, of course you were in the studio to record the second album and everything, but I guess a big part of it is to have fun as well. It's not only work.
We have the best job in the world, and you know, we wouldn't do this if it wasn't fun, because like it's you know, 12-hour days usually, you know, behind the scenes, and you know, when we're not touring, it's tons of stuff and tons of work on the boring side of things. So when we get together, you know, if that wasn't fun, then I would switch job directly.
Exactly.
How was it to I mean, the first album, I understood that it was pretty much you and Jesper had songs that you put together, and then you went to the studio and worked more on them. But now I guess everybody has been more involved. Are you done it as a band?
Yeah, we have, and that was so great, because such great workflow, how things came together. I mean, like...
Yeah, I mean, I wrote stuff at home and sent to Jake, and then we met a few times before the recordings and like co-wrote them, and Jake and Jesper wrote, and Jake wrote actually a lot of songs on his own, and then in the studio the demos were just kind of like rough sketches, and then we worked there. Alex had great ideas about, you know, could this part go like this, and this riff maybe like this, and so it was really a band effort.
And now, of course, it's for two reasons, because on the first record also Jake and Jesper, many songs were written like to the detail already, like almost like
they were like almost
set in stone, and you know, we've been working then for so long on them, a couple months back then, then after a while you can't really change anything anymore. Even if you feel like you have a really good idea, but everybody's so used to the demo that you really can't do anything.
And my parts are basically doubled Jesper's rhythm guitars exactly they were, so it was just like I just did what Jesper doubled, and then well, the solos
exactly. There's always a bit of freedom.
And some of the solos even Jake hummed me on the phone, like I want to have this kind of thing here. Okay, you're really good to do this, and then I recorded and then I sent it to the guys in the studio when they were mixing. So it was but But
Yeah,
But on this one, because as Euge said, there were just the demos were rougher and more sketches. There was actually a lot of room for everybody to try things around, and plus we knew each other as musicians better.
Yeah, exactly.
So we knew what the kind of stuff we can even like suggest. Because when you first get together, you have to test the waters a little bit.
That was one of the coolest thing when starting to write songs for this album, because now I knew what kind of drummer Alex is and what he likes to do. So when I sent stuff over to Alex, he responded like, "Yeah, it sounds like it would be me playing those things." So
this was really cool.
that was fun.
We're yet to hear the results of your recordings, but
us too actually, because Jacob Hansen is mixing them right now. So we heard some snippets of the songs and it sounds great.
How has it changed now?
Yeah, it's more Morbid Angel kind of like.
It is heavier though.
It's heavier. I would say more riff oriented.
Yes.
Some of the songs are really like based on riffs.
Guitars.
Yeah, that's good.
Especially that
good way of putting it.
where that I wrote with Jake, because I'm used to write songs that I wrote the riffs, and then the vocalist comes up with the actual melodies, vocal melody lines, and then because I'm not that good of that, so yeah, and more, I guess that, I don't know if you could say old In Flames style harmonized guitar melody leads, because on the first album Karma was pretty much the only song that had so, but now we have several songs that has that, like, I think vibe what the fans has been asking, and we wanted to incorporate on this album that kind of style too.
And it makes sense because we're a twin guitar band now, so like
exactly.
The first one is like more like one guitar in mind.
Yeah, exactly.
And now,
And also one thing that at least I was thinking most of when I started to write this album was we did like, I don't remember, I might be wrong, but 60 shows or something.
Something like that.
And I felt, and we all felt, that some of the songs on the album, the debut album, is fantastic to listen to, like when you're driving in the car or when you just listen to music in general. But some of the songs were not that live friendly. We took down the tempo a little bit too much, and in the live set, some of those songs didn't really work. So I was trying to focus more on getting a live feel to the songs, the right songs that would work in a good live set.
Yeah. How did the lyrical part then?
It's more or less it's more or less a continuation to the first album, to be honest. Not in the way that it has to do a lot with alcohol and addiction this time, but it's very personal. Like I could relate to most of the lyrics myself. And before we formed CyHra, I never wrote any personal lyrics, more or less, but starting with Letters for Myself, I felt that was a good thing to do. So we were collaborating a lot with the lyrics. So Alex has been collaborating, and Euge and Jesper as well. So we've all been taking part of that as well.
We wrote a lot of stuff actually in the supermarket while shopping for
bananas,
for cooking, in the evening.
Yeah.
We're just discussing stuff in the supermarket.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was funny.
Yeah, that was
So all in all, like a.
There's a lot of songs about milk.
But as a whole, it's a lot more of a band album now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, looking forward to hear that. How does it work for you guys in the studio? You have Swedish, how would I say, discussion and democracy. You have German process, and you have Finnish sisu and satana. How does this all work together in the studio?
Can the others decide things too?
That's Swedish democracy, right?
First you discuss and then you decide.
Sweden still don't have a government. We've been out without the government for now like 2 months or something. So I was actually thinking of sending them an email saying that I could be the president.
Well, you have a lot of time on your hands.
Yeah, but
I know I have a lot of time.
It's not like you have things to do.
But I mean, democracy in a band works to a certain point, but then you have to have one guy that makes the final call and is the mastermind. in CyHra Exchange.
It's just
So we
very
all
fortunate
collaborate.
that we
We
kind
all
of the same
collaborate,
page.
but then
Yeah, exactly.
but it's kind of like
So there's not actual stuff to fight about. Like most
Yeah.
often, like we agree anyway. So it's like that makes it of course very easy.
Yeah.
So you're a nice president then.
Yeah, I am.
Kind dictator. It's like, yeah, okay, that's a really good idea, but let's not use it on this song.
Have I said that?
No, that was actually Janne Joutsenimi from Suburban Tribe, because we called Janne a kind dictator, lempeä diktaattori, and he said that to me once. Really good idea, but let's
we're
not
not
use
using
it this
it.
time.
But now you know for the next time.
Yeah.
The Jake Tater.
Jake Tater. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's more, we have the same, like Jake told, like same kind of view and life for life in general.
That's
right?
it. Or for
So
example, Jeppe feels really strong usually about drum beats because he basically also is a drummer or was a drummer, but then it's just fortunate that he actually likes whatever I'm suggesting. He likes, so there's basically never. We don't have to fight about things. That's what makes it so easy. So
That's actually fun that you say that, because like me and Jesper have had one fight during our like 3 years since we set up CyHra, and that was about one of the songs on the for our first album, if the snare should be backbeat or not, and we actually had to like, no, this is the way. No, it's the.
of course.
Pretty good thing to have a fight about, though.
Yeah. I've also heard rumors that you are a pretty hard-working guy and focused on what you're doing.
I heard rumors like that too.
Do you give hard time for the rest of the guys?
I think that I give a hard time on myself because like my biggest problem is that I don't delegate the work. That's my biggest problem, I think. I don't think that I give the other guys a hard time.
I mean, I've usually
I've started to use you more.
being the guy that, you know, vetää kivirekeä, runs the stuff and takes care. But now, I mean, in Shining, Niklas took care a lot, and in Suburban Tribe it was Janne, but Gaspeik and I've been there. So it's really good to have a guy that also has the same work ethic, and that is, and also that he's how do I say it? Not to put not anyone else down, or
don't say it. That's usually the way to say it.
He's a normal person.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I work with a lot of
normal persons.
special persons.
But then again, also we actually all of us.
But they are nice, and everything. It's been really great, and I'm still friends with everyone. But with Jake,
what we were talking about.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna quit. Yeah.
No, I think we all have good working ethics also. Like, as soon as you get me basically out of the bed, then I do my job. So, and that goes for everybody. So
that was the funniest thing on the first album. I have to take this. You're a hard-working guy, but when I told Alex that we start recording at 10, his eyes were like, can we start 2?
It's actually getting better, I must say, also on this record.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But I felt for the longest time in my life that I couldn't play after waking up. Like it took me an hour or two to.
That sounded funny. You couldn't play after waking up, so you had to play in your sleep.
Yes. I mean, right after waking up. So, but actually, also on this one,
you start with 10. You start around 10.
I started around 10, and the takes were usable. So I guess I got better in that direction.
They weren't good, but they were usable.
Yeah, usable. I mean, it's up for others to judge.
I was actually fucking amazed by both you guys on this album. You know, you're used to have like 2 weeks of drum recording, and Alex were done in like 6 days, 7 days.
I think even 5, and then we're just doing just to hear something here. But
and Euge, he was like, okay, I'm done with 2 songs. I'm gonna start with the 3rd. I was like, what?
Yeah. You started already? Yes, I did.
I did like a half song a day.
Smooth process.
Yeah.
It's been a year since we what kind of a development will we see on the stage?
That's going to be a big difference.
Hopefully a positive development.
Yeah. I can speak for myself at least. Obviously, with the tour, that was like the thing for me where it started to feel like it's really easy, you know, to play that stuff on the stage. The whole band is on it, and everybody knows what they're doing. And the first show was a great show. I have great memories of it, but it was also like it's tense because it's your first show.
Yeah.
So I think it should be something else tonight, hopefully.
Yeah, it was like, you know, first one is always like the first show of the tour. It's always like, and when the machine gets rolling, then it's like just like you're like enjoying the ride. But the first one is always like you're kind of trying to get on.
We had so many difficulties to overcome on the first show, because like a brand new band, brand new techniques, you know, brand new toys. There were so many things that had to work, which we had to troubleshoot, and you know, just to know how to act with, you know, between the songs and stuff like that. And what I figured out is that CyHra is a band that works absolutely best at a little bit of a bigger stage, so that, you know, we could move around, we could play around with each other. Now it's going to be a more intimate show here today, which is a smaller stage, and that could also cause some funny moments, because like you're jumping into each other, or like even though we played a big stage yesterday at Pakkahone, I was gonna just play with Euge's guitar with my microphone, and he did like this, and my microphone just woohoo
to the audience. But yeah, and the first show for me was because it was the first time that I played without like real amps, because we play directly in line, you know, modern technology, so everything is coming in here. So I'm always used to that. I have a wall of, you know, Marshalls and blah, so that was kind of like, I was like, wow, how this is going. But now when I'm used to it, it's just like, it's actually really good, because you have the same consistent sound, and you, no matter where you are on the stage, you hear yourself. Because at first it was, for me, I could hear myself maybe too good, so I was like, fuck, I made a small mistake. But when you're playing, you know, with wall of amps and noise, you're just like bouncing, and you don't realize. Now I've learned to play that, you know, you can't be perfect when you're bouncing and jumping, so you just have to get used to the fact that you hear yourself and everyone else so clearly that it's so that was it took me a couple of shows to get used to that, but now it's just like, I mean, I haven't played. I've done a few shows with some feeling things where I played again with amps, and it's just like, wow, fuck, I can hear shit, like, wish I would have my in-ears and stuff, so now I'm used to the modern way, so to say.
Yeah. Talking about big stages, one thing that Alex also said last year when we discussed that CyHra will be the new Metallica, because
did you say that?
You said that. Wow.
That's modest.
How are you?
We're just waiting for Metallica to quit to take their
I think this is what I meant, though. I think that what I was trying to say is, at some point, these big dinosaurs, these big bands from the 80s or even 70s, at some point they will just stop, you know? I mean, it's amazing that they're still around, and as long as they're doing great and having fun, they should do it. I'm not saying they should stop, it's just that they will at some point, right? So there's gonna be more or less a vacuum, and I think some other bands will have to fill it, and I'm just hoping, I think that we have the potential to be one of these bands. You know?
So it's progressing okay in that direction.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Slowly but steadily.
Exactly, very slowly but very steadily. Yeah, by Metallica terms.
Yeah. So next year we will release the second album, and I guess there will be a lot of touring, more touring next year.
Yeah,
absolutely, of course. Yeah.
Can't wait to go out with the new album.
Yeah, with the new material, of course. Fantastic.
Really looking forward to show I don't know when the first single is gonna come out, but it's gonna be in the beginning of next year.
Are you tired already on the first songs from the first album, or?
That's the weirdest thing. You can never get tired of those songs. I love that first album. It's like your own little kid.
Still really fun to play them, and
But I guess making a set list will be more challenging the more albums you have there, and you get new songs, and you can, like you were saying, that there are some songs that don't fit maybe in the live.
No, I think with the second one it's going to be more fun.
Yeah. Yeah, but as I said before, there is songs already that we know that we are going to cut out of the set because they don't really work live now. They work, but they, you know, you could. It depends on, you know, songs that you might take away when you release your second album might come back when you have 3 albums, because then you need to have like a more balanced curve. Yeah, it's going to be fun to put together.
Yeah. My last question that will be interesting to hear your answer. Your answer I already heard last year, but maybe it has changed. But what's in the heart and soul of CyHra? What's in the heart and soul of CyHra?
I think we already said it a lot of times today.
I guess it's Jake, Alex, Jesper, and me.
Yeah, exactly. And but the heart and soul is brotherhood. I would say we have each other's back no matter what.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You were all dead to me.